Boogie woogie oogie, my guys. I am here to tell you today to stop begging for GTA fucking 6. Every single time I see something trending along the lines of GTA 6, I get physically depressed. Unbelievable how much people are begging for it on the internet. The sheer force of all these people as well is enough to get it trending on Twitter every goddamn day, or at least every time Rockstar drops something, right? And Rockstar has been trending in a way that I actually appreciate recently. I don't love Red Dead 2, but the fact that they're just giving away the online for $5 is super dope. There's so many people who would not pay all that money for the story mode that they're cranking all that money into. It's the perfect way of separating multiplayer game and story game, right? If you just sell the online for $5, but then sell the full game for $60, you still get the story mode if you want it, but the people who don't want to pay all that money can sink that money into online purchasables, which is what literally Red Dead 2 is. And in some ways, unfortunate, literally so much of that content you need to purchase with real money. I wish it was a little bit more give and take, and I wish stuff wasn't so expensive. This is how I see the future of gaming turning into. Again, you split the online cost and you split the story mode cost, and you can buy the game for online or you can buy the game for story mode. I mean, that's what, in my opinion, Cyberpunk did the most wrong. They don't have an online mode ready yet, and they dropped the game before it was ready. So they dropped a shitty game to compete with these kinds of companies and don't have an online to show for it. I think Rockstar is doing a lot of stuff correct recently. Of course, people are gonna just beg for the obvious thing that they want. Obviously, everybody wants a new game, but you don't want to rush something that's not ready to be put out. Just like everybody rushed Cyberpunk to death to the point where they had to drop a shitty game. Another one that I felt like was an overhyped game for the product, right? That I purchased, but one that got a lot of buzz from how little they told people was No Man's Sky. And I guess Cyberpunk is similar in a way because they didn't tell people much about it either, other than what game it was kind of like. Until it was really getting down to it, but I'm glad I didn't buy it. However, No Man's Sky I purchased, and now it seems like my computer can't really run it for whatever reason. Maybe it's all the stuff that they sunk into it after the fact. But when it dropped, they didn't have any content, and they were lying about the features of the game, which is false marketing. Like, that's fucked up. And in all actuality, something like No Man's Sky dropping and to public disarray is justified, right? Me, however, not really knowing too much about the game, not really devoting too much of my time into this game having to be terrific, went into it and was like, yeah, this is pretty boring, but this is what was I expecting? So I feel like people love to get disappointed about something, especially now that everybody's just sitting at home. People are finding stuff to get disappointed about. They have frustration that they need to take out, which is all fair, well and good. Like, get it out, do what you gotta do. If you really are gonna just keep begging Rockstar Games to release a game, like to the point where they can't give you free content for the other game, like they're doing that to keep you guys at bay because they just sunk all their money into Red Dead 2, which wasn't really that profitable for them. I don't think they're selling the online for $5. You know, that's the first time anything like that's happened. I think that's a good business model to keep for the future, but I don't know if it's just because how poorly Red Dead 2 did either. People need to stop asking for this game. Otherwise, we're gonna have a Cyberpunk and a No Man's Sky where everybody's begging for this thing. So they're like, all right, well, we got to put out this thing so we can capitalize on how many people want it right now. And when we all buy it and hate it, they're gonna all get fired and people are all gonna lose their job, and just in general people are gonna see repercussions of this in real life, and I don't think people understand that for a game that shouldn't be out yet at all. Again, when you look at No Man's Sky, it's winning awards now. It's a good game now. They put all the stuff in that they needed to because eventually they had enough time to do it. And then that's the game that they should have put out. But in this day and age, people are already rushing out games. And especially at that price point, a $60 price point, people are going to start getting upset, sure. The more people crave for things online, the more the marketing officials of companies are like, oh, well, we need to capitalize on how many people are asking for this right now. Because with this many people asking for this, we should just put this out. Oh, well, that meets the mark. Let's start cranking stuff, doing the bare minimum in order to get people to purchase the game that everybody's begging for. At a certain point, we're expecting that company to put a lot of money, effort, and time into it, but then begging for them to release it sooner, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So dumb. Stop doing it. Not even just having to do with video games that get overhyped. I mean, like, everybody overhyped Playboi Carti's release. Even Playboi Carti kind of overhyped his release, and he dropped what I expected Playboi Carti to drop for, or in some respects, and people got mad about it. And it's like, okay, You know, why are we all mad? What were we all expecting? Please stop begging for GTA 6 because it just makes them rush a product because they're gonna feel like they need to put it out before it's ready. I know it's been a long time. I'm gonna Google when the last GTA was. I know we're due for one. It's been like 7 years, 7 full years, about to hit the 8-year mark. But when you look at when GTA 4 was released, it was like 5 years. So you figure 5 years when technology wasn't really changing too much, as opposed to how technology is progressing forward now. Who knows what GTA 6 is even going to look like? They're cranking so much into GTA 5 that you got to respect the lifespan of something like that. The fact that a game like that has been able to last 7 years and people still actively play it is incredible. It's lasted 2 generations of console, if not 3, if I'm not mistaken. 360, PS4, and then now it's on PS5, the Xbox X or Series X or whatever. Appreciate the fact that exists and has been existing for 7 years, and they're still giving you new content for it. And if you want the new one, play, you know, the other billion-dollar game that company probably put money into in Red Dead 2, which I agree is a little too paywall. Still a fun game, and that came out 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure that was the game that they made 5 years after GTA 5. Like, they sunk a lot of money in that, and so it's gonna be another couple years for GTA 6. Please stop asking for it. I'm sick of seeing it in my timeline. Please and thank you.